This video is for entertainment purposes only, and it is my presentation of the symbolism scene at the 2021 Super Bowl halftime show. This is just for fun, and I spent a lot of time researching this. There was several books that I used. That's not what I want. I don't want Xbox, and I'm sorry if I'm wonky. This was a fun show. So I did a lot of reading. I found some things in Magical Herbalism by Scott Cunningham, Farmer's Almanac. This one, Symbol, Signs, and Dream Interpretation. Excellent book. Excellent book. So most of this stuff I'm going to show you, I just looked at pictures and I looked in my books to see what I could find. And I did go on Wikipedia. Wikipedia is not a legitimate source, but that's what we got. And we're going to take a look at what they showed us. So let's go back to my pictures and let's get started. And I am so new at this. I hope it's not too wonky. I hope I can get through it. Okay, let's go to our pictures. So the scene starts off in Las Vegas. We have the Weeknd here, and he is from Canada. I can't find anything about him being from a highly connected, wealthy bloodline family. The car is a Mercedes-Benz 190 SL. I went on the Mercedes website to see how much that costs, and it was kind of like a menu at a fancy restaurant. There's no prices, so if you have to ask, you can't afford it. And of course, brought to you by Pepsi. Fun fact, Steve-O's dad was the CEO of Pepsi in Brazil. And some people say that Pepsi symbol kind of looks like an eye, kind of opening up. And Las Vegas, we're going to talk about some Las Vegas symbolism. So Vega in astronomy is the brightest star in the constellation of Lyra. And that's where the cat people come from, so I hear. And it is a pale sapphire star in the handle of the Lyra constellation. It forms one corner of the summer triangle. And the other parts of that triangle are Altair, and that is the eagle, and then Deneb, and that is the hen's tail. Pretty cool. I just learned that. I learn stuff every day. I love to learn. All right, moving on to the flowers, those pink flowers. I figured out that is called pink hellebore. I went in one of my books and I matched up the picture, and sure enough, it's pink hellebore. This is also called the Christmas rose or Lenten rose, and it is not related to the rose family. But often in these performances, there'll be roses, and that represents Rosicrucianism. So it's poisonous, only to be used under close supervision. And this herb will open you up to the mysteries of different realms of existence. And if you use it together with certain other herbs, you can go and visit otherworldly beings. So don't try this at home, kids. Don't eat the hellebore. Also, I found this in the Farmer's Almanac, Sexagesima. So that is actually a holiday, is the name for the second Sunday before Ash Wednesday. And then next week we have Mardi Gras on Tuesday. So this is just a time of carnival. I didn't know that. I didn't know that, the Super Bowl is an official holiday. They just call it something else. So give me just a moment. Let me get myself together. Let's go back to my pictures. I know there's a way to edit, but I don't know how to do that yet. And then the Weeknd's outfit is a Givenchy couture suit crusted with rubies. And the ruby is linked to fire, passion, sex, and sometimes anger. They put a lot of effort and a lot of money into this performance. And these are meticulous performances with the best of the best. And they're very detail oriented. And I thought this was an excellent performance. Excellent performance. And where should we move on to next? Well, I guess we'll move on to when this guy descends down. So we had the weekend, he's in the car, and then he sits down and looks over the city, and this guy with glowing red eyes descends down. And you know what it reminded me of? It was kind of funny. This stuff is all fun. It was like Terminator eyes. And they're in the white. Let's go back. So very interesting there. And Raymond James Stadium. It got 4 stars on TripAdvisor, and they lovingly call it Ray J. So Raymond James is a multi-international investment bank. Let's go back to pictures. Also, I'm going to tell you more about the Hellebore. That was so interesting. Terminator eyes, the Hellebore. This is from Magical Herbalism. And both the black and green varieties of the Hellebore were used in incenses to cause frenzy. Witches didn't use such incenses, but mischievous sorcerers and magicians or herbalists who decided to pay back a few of the priests for their continual harassment might introduce a bit of this herb into the censers during the church ceremonies and stand outside waiting for the congregation to turn violent and unruly. This was a typical magical joke of several centuries ago. Huh. Magic stuff. I love this stuff. We learn something new every day. And back to our presentation. Let's look at some more pictures. All right. The weekend comes out. And look at the guys with the glowing red eyes. They look like Terminator or Kano from Mortal Kombat or something. He comes out. The choir splits like Moses splits the Red Sea. That's just the symbolism I saw. It might not mean that, but you know, it's all in fun here. And next, what comes next? Not a good picture. I have a better one than that. I will just go with it. So you see this green thing right there? Let me find that green thing. I found something about that. So throughout the performance, keep your eye on that. That thing is gonna glow green pretty much the whole time. And green represents awakenings and fertility. And also, in medieval times, green was associated with the devil, but I think everything was associated with the devil back in that time. In alchemy, it is the secret fire of the living spirit. In Islam, green is the most important color, and it's the color of Muhammad's cloak. And it represents spiritual refreshment. Ooh, learning all kinds of things. Not that good of a picture. Let's move on to the fun house. So the weekend's doing his singing. He moves on down into the fun house. And we have mirrors everywhere. It's all spooky. And these guys have on... I saw one lady on the internet said it looks like they have a jockstrap on their face. I think they look kind of like Silent Hill nurses. It was just really weird. But you know, they were in this closed space And, you know, you got to be responsible. I'm like, they're not social distancing. And I'm like, well, they got their masks on. It's okay. So inside this fun house, you're going to see all kinds of words. You can see nothing, gone, and these arrows. To the right of this picture, the symbol could be a chevron. And chevron indicates military rank, or it could just be an arrow. And also mirrors have long been used in magic spells and scrying. And they're all bumping into each other. This was quite dizzy in this scene. It was kind of difficult to watch. Reminded me of like Blair Witch Project or something. So then he comes out, and then he's on top. I hope I'm not skipping around. I ran into a lot of copyright stuff, so I couldn't just make a stream, even though I added all kinds of different things and switched in and out. It won't let me do it, so bear with me. So he's on top, and the building is shaped like an octagon. 8 means strength. It also represents water and semen. And usually there's some kind of phallic symbol in these performances, so I think that's possibly it right there. And this was a nice performance. It sounded really good. It'll look good, and that's what it's all about. It's a show. It's fun. And I think looking at the symbolism is even more fun. Here we have the full moon above the city. And full moons are beneficial in magic rituals because you can move around at night without being detected, and there's lots of extra light. And it also kind of looks like a graveyard. I don't know. It's just buildings, but it kind of looks like a graveyard there. Blue, and it's kind of blue. Blue is linked with infinity and primordial emptiness, and I think of sadness. It's also celestial and organic, a dreamlike state. Blue is also protection against the evil eye. And what is next? Oh, some of the keywords that light up: alone, touch, enough, and your. So that is interesting. I don't know if I got a good picture, but there's more. This is it. Good picture. All right. Up to your top left, you see Saturn. So whoever made this is like, I think it'd be a really good idea if we put Saturn up in there. So Saturn is the 6th planet from the sun. It's named after the Roman god of wealth and agriculture. It represents the god's sickle, or the symbol does. And Romans named the 7th day of the week Saturday. And he was a Titan. And Titan is the largest moon of Saturn. Ooh, I like that. He had 6 children with his sister. Sister, OPS. And they were Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, Juno, Ceres, and Vesta. Interesting. Uh-oh, my battery's running low. Uh-oh. Hang on, please don't die, computer. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. Yeah, they pulled this off really well. The year Lady Gaga did it, one guy fell down, but he picked himself back up, and that was pretty cool. All right, what's next? And this is all from notes. I wrote just a bunch of notes. This is how I do things. I'm old. And give me just a moment. You can also see he has black and white shoes. At every Superbowl performance, there is a black and white theme. On the floor, you could see a star. I would not have noticed that. All of this is my own work, but I did see that on a suggested YouTube video. But everything you see, I looked up myself, but we got to point it out. I would not have seen that. There's a part where he stands right on top of it and crosses his legs, but I couldn't quite capture that. And I need to get this out here. It would take me forever if I wanted it to be the way I wanted it to be, like perfect. And then here, so we have the chevron. And then here, this kind of looks like a Mayan pyramid. Kinda. The yellow and the blue theme matches a Mayan god. And that's not what I want. Thanks for being here with me. This is very exciting. This guy, I cannot pronounce his name. Hutzapitzoidal. I can't say it. Maybe I'll practice. But it is translated into southern hummingbird or left-handed hummingbird. If you've ever heard of the term left-hand path, that's kind of interesting. So left hand is kind of the darker, the magic. It's different than the right. I don't know. I'm still learning all this stuff, and you're learning it all with me. And then let's go back to our pictures I have to show you. Oh, I did not get the picture. I didn't save it, but at last year's Super Bowl performance, J-Lo puts her arms out like a cross. Weeknd does the same thing at the very end after all the dancers come out on the field. He puts his arm up like a cross. And that could be just coincidence. That's your arms feel good when you're performing, stretched out like that. I'm not sure. And then, oh, there, I got that. You guys are awesome for hanging in there. I thought this was so interesting. A lot of this just blew my mind. With the pink hellebore, the poisonous plant that causes hallucinations. My goodness. Photos. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wrap things up right there. That was cool. So Farmer's Almanac, Magical Herbalism, and symbol, signs, and dream interpretation, along with some Wikipedia searches, and that's how I broke down the symbols of the Super Bowl. I'm sure there's probably more, but thank you for listening and watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. Have a good day. Bye.